Hi, everyone. I'm Aviad Cohen at AV Master, and today, coming directly to you from NEAT, I have Graham Walsh.
Hi, thank you for having me on the show.
It's always fun to have all sorts of people, and you have a huge background within the UC industry. But, we're trying to show as much as possible of the UC umbrella, which is huge and ever growing. And you work for NEAT, and you are a product specialist at NEAT. You also do strategic alliances with Zoom and Microsoft, and you have I would say, a burning passion of actually working with R&D. So what you do, you told me you mediate all these requests directly with R&D while working with customers, which I think is amazing. So first of all, welcome to the show. So NEAT is a relatively extremely new upcomer, but it's a name that came up. I got a phone call from one of my managers a few years ago. And he says, you got to see the NEAT room I have. Plus, what do you mean NEAT room? He says, I installed NEAT in the room. And he sent me the link. And I said, if he's so passionate about it, I got to learn more. And then I know NEAT, but I would like our audience to know you guys as well. So who is NEAT?
So NEAT is a company that was born in 2019. So maybe a perfect time or the worst time, you could say differently. But headquartered in Oslo, as we like to call it, Video Valley, where lots of experts are from dating back to the TANDBERG days, into Cisco, other companies such as PEXIP, v-VIDEXIO, Hudley, all these other companies that are in Video Valley. And NEAT was born really to address a need of making conference rooms simple. The past history was conference rooms are great, but they're expensive and complex and, need an AV tech to make a call. And with the rise of unified communication platforms such as Microsoft and Zoom, making it, everyone having access to video on their desktop, on their tablets, on their phones, etc. How do we make the conference room that simple too? And that's how Zoom Rooms was born, to make it easy as the desktop. And then to make it easy in the room, that's where NEAT came in with its simplicity. A really nice, stylish looking soundbar. That was easy to use, easy to install as well. So, people could self-deploy if they wanted to, get a conference room up and running in a few minutes.
So
power, network, done.
NEAT came in with the life goal of empowering the end users with easy to self-install endpoints that, they're native with Zoom. So what is it that you guys do exactly? A little bit more into the, I would say it's like a little bit into more to the product section. Or
yeah,
portfolio.
So the application that Zoom write for their rooms is given to other vendors as well. So the look and feel of the touch panel is the same for everyone. So what is let's call it our secret sauce? What do we have in the kitchen? And that is our sort of video technology. So being able to automatically detect people, not just faces, but people. So being able to follow you around the room, I like to be animated a lot and walk around. What our cameras do is track you. So whether you're facing the camera or not, we're not doing facial detection. We're doing body detection, looking for a person and group framing there. So that was sort of feature number one, was being able to, just focus on the people in the room, whether they're sitting down, standing, doesn't matter. You are able to be grouped. And again, not having to touch an old school thing like this and try and control a camera to fit everyone in and camera going everywhere. It's automatic. You walk in the room, you hit join, and you're in a call. And it's as people join, as people leave, the camera is automatically framing the room with people. So it doesn't matter if you had a nice portrait of your co-founder on the back wall, it wouldn't focus on that because it's just a headshot. It's looking for a silhouette of a body. So that was sort of feature number one, was the camera framing. And then we brought out what we call neat symmetry. So that is the ability to, okay, we know there's people in the room. Let's cut them out. Like we have in our Zoom and our Teams meetings, we're now cut out and put on virtual backgrounds.
Yeah, you mean like the immersive part?
Exactly. So taking that sort of head, let's call it torso shot. So from your sort of belly button up, whether you're sitting down or standing up, and extracting that into a frame so we can see clearly. So rather than having that, I like to call it the bowling alley conference room, having that table of dead space and, light shining off it maybe. Taking that out of the frame and just showing people on the screen. And that's, again, what we bring to the hardware technology within the neat devices, is being able to do that.
Those are incorporated within the sound bars, within your the Zoom, the neat collaboration display. So that's just a part of your portfolio, but your portfolio actually says we make Zoom experience, and now I understand Teams as well. We make the Zoom experience within our products. It's homebrewed. It's natively introduced. I understand there's also a USB to the BYOC, or the bring your own codec perception. So that as well. That's soon. Graham, just a little bit of an annoying question, but I have to ask. We ran into a few big names, but aside from Poly, Logitech, have now Crestron, Extron, we're also inside Yeelink, Aver, etc. So the list is long. Just all these are making the sound bars, So Neat decided to come in as well as a contender, and surprisingly, I've heard the name Neat a lot. So, it's like, why are you guys considered such a big promise in the overcrowded UC industry? I mean, look at, we know Zoom invested, in Neat. That doesn't, and they announced it. It's not something that happens every day.
Yeah.
So how would you explain it?
I think let's call it, customers that have, worked with us in the past. Again, a lot of us have been in the industry. There's lots of, if you were to add up the number of years in video or UC in the company, it's hundreds or maybe even thousands. There's so much skill in the company. And I think that's what people are buying into, knowing what we've done in other organizations in the past with video and taking that to market to make, the best product. And now we're just doing it all again, making the product even better, making the most simplest but best product we can. And I think that's what customers like to see is, innovation. And that's what drives us. And customers push us to drive innovation too, because they're working differently now, especially now we're in this sort of, I hate the word, hybrid workplace.
It is what it is.
We've all got to work and think differently. And, that's pushing us as an engineering company to do better with the technology. And that's why I think, we are being that little bit different. Everyone's got their product out and doing different things, like I mentioned with, facial detection, body, is it head and shoulders detection? Can you wear a mask or not in the room, etc.? Is it looking for eyes and mouth? We're doing it differently. And I think that's what we are, is just doing things at another level that we've not seen before in the industry. And I think that's, partly due to our, knowledge of where we've been before and the boundary we want to push with technology and, what we can do with camera, but also audio technology as well. So similar things with audio, being able to put like a boundary around your video system or around your table so you don't capture that glass wall down the side. Or someone walking past, it's like, oh, there's someone walking past, or looking in the door, isn't my turn yet? And the camera pans to them. We don't want that. So again, we have virtual boundaries we can set up in the system, and we're going to bring that to audio as well. So especially in a collaborative area where you have something like the Neat board, a 65-inch display, you're annotating. There may be a kitchen behind you, people making a tea and coffee and having a chat. But we will be able to block all that noise out and just focus around people, collaboration around the board or around that conference table.
So if I were to try, it will be a huge assumption, just to try and summarize, it would be looking at Zoom's meteoric rise within the last 2 years and Neat joining in as a partner just a year before the pandemic broke. So it's a trust thing that they took Neat as their home player, and Neat just did the rest by itself. I see, just implementing all these great features within the product, so you don't have to make any adjustments yourselves. And it's all, as I've seen it, it's pretty straightforward. Just like power and network, and the rest is configurable from the cloud. You don't even have to be there. Before we started recording, you spoke about the hybrid way of working. The meaning of the IT staff isn't present at all times, so relieving them of the pressure, having to attend those conference rooms. As you said, coming in with us, it's Sunday to Thursday, but regardless, Sunday, Monday, to whatever, you come into that UC space, to that hybrid space. You as IT have 100% confident it will work. And he, as a user, knows if it fails to work or something, remote assistance is just a snap away. Now, I've seen some demos, and I could ask you to demo here, but I really think, seeing something that TANDBERG taught us about, seeing is believing. You really have to experience it. And it's insane that we have the Video Valley in Oslo, one of the most beautiful places in the world that I've been. But if I were to be interested, where do you have representatives, and how do people reach you? Because I see you do a lot of Microsoft stuff right now, just adding some stuff. I'm following up. It's because it's interesting always. How do we contact you? How do we contact Neat? If we were to get a demo and experience it for ourselves.
Absolutely. So as you see down the bottom, you can follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. Follow my YouTube videos. Again, I do some, as you say, demos, because seeing is believing, and seeing the product in action. And again, that's one thing we can do remotely as well. Beauty of it is, I've been able to set up here my home office to demo things remotely. So I sort of immerse you inside the room. So making it really easy for us to do remote demos. And actually, if I just click one button, you can sort of see this type of demo I could show you during a call. So experiencing it like you're in the room, showing you that touch panel, the dual display, and then even being able to show the video features such as Neat symmetry, and being able to walk around my. I've got a system in the living room as well. So you've got a large open space, which is probably the worst audio because it's a hard floor. There's a sofa and a rug and stuff, but think of the worst acoustics possible. And I'm able to do a demo from there remotely. And it just shows off the power of what's worse scenario. And obviously in your conference rooms, you're going to have probably maybe carpet. You're going to have some acoustic panels on the wall, etc. So yeah,
better investment in the acoustics, of course.
Absolutely. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we do things like Neat symmetry. How do you show that remotely? And obviously I can walk around, and I have some colleagues here in my office, and they're about 30 centimeters high, and when I'm on the Neat system, I can just put him, and we frame Borat the same size as me. So it's a great demo, and I'm happy to do that to anyone remotely. So yeah, you can contact me on graham.walsh@neat.no, and we've got people covering the region for you as well that look after sales. I'm obviously very technical, and I don't like paperwork and admin stuff. I just like to play with stuff. So yeah, we've got colleagues that will look after you and region. And if you want to see demos locally, we also have things like try and buy programs. So you can we call it try, see, buy. Going back to what you mentioned, seeing is believing. So having that kit for 30 days, trying it out, and if you like it, you keep it. You don't like it, you send it back. We cover the courier costs. So making it, again, as simple as possible to have access to video and try it.
Yeah, your local contact here in Israel is Touch Conference, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. Yeah, they're our local distributor for the region. So yeah, and then we've got people assigned at Neat looking after them as well. So you can always speak to a Neat representative, or feel free to contact myself as well.
Great. Graham Walsh, absolute pleasure. We will be following up more, and I'm hoping to see you perhaps a second time will be the charm at Barcelona this year. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I'm really hoping to see you there. Thank you much for your time, and keep following.
Thank you very much for having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.